I hated my first experience with the Monster Hunter series. So why do I have hundreds of hours put into Monster Hunter World? Let me take you back to 2018 for a moment. I was hearing a lot about a game called Monster Hunter World and decided to download the demo on my PS4. The details are a little hazy considering this was 6 years ago, but I remember setting out on a quest to fight a big yellow lizard, which I now understand to be the Great Jagras. This was my first time ever playing a Monster Hunter game, and basically I got slapped around by this creature. I'm not sure if it was stronger in the demo or if I was just absolutely awful at this game. I think I was using the greatsword because I remember my attacks being slow and difficult to land, which at the time I was not a fan of. I was constantly whining about how slow my weapon was and getting knocked to the ground, always being locked in some kind of animation. I hated that the boss didn't have a health bar and it ran away from me and that I would have to go track it down. Basically, I was a big Suki baby who gave up and always thought that the problem was the game, when in reality, the problem was me. I didn't practice enough with my weapon of choice and when outplayed, blamed it on the weapon being too slow. I relied on some stupid artificial health bar to tell me when the enemy was close to death, rather than noticing when I was wounding the beast and causing it to show signs of weakness and frailty. I wasn't patient, and instead of enjoying the game for what it is, I just wanted to kill the monster and be on with the next, instead of admiring the challenge and joy of the hunt. Fast forward 3 years later and it's 2021. One of my good friends had finally convinced me to give Monster Hunter World another go. After all, I liked a lot of the same things and games that he did, and had a high amount of respect for his opinions. So surely there was something I missed. Something that made him love Monster Hunter World that I couldn't see. This is what good friends are for. They sit you down and tell you when you're being a fucking clown and to wake up to yourself. And oh my god, was I so not ready for this behemoth of a video game. Like I said, this was my first experience with Monster Hunter, so before anything else, I had to start with the bare basics. Progress the story, complete simple missions, try different weapons, and pick one that I enjoyed the playstyle of. Learn to adapt to the world that is Monster Hunter and its rules and laws of nature. For instance, big weapons are fucking slow, and monsters do not and should not have health bars. The game developers obviously intended for it to be this way for very specific reasons and to enforce their vision and idea of how the game plays. It took some time, but after my first day of playing, I'd gotten a good grasp on the basic game loop. Accept missions, explore the world, loot items, hunt monsters, and craft gear. I was really starting to enjoy and get a good handle on some of the weapons, and for the first time defeated the Great Jagras. And then it hit me. This game is fun. I began to wake up early before work and try and get at least 1 hour of playtime in. Each day constantly lost in thought and researching all the different weapon upgrades, monster parts, and their strengths and weaknesses. Finding all the pets and completing the zones while customizing my private room became an absolute joy. I even stopped playing the games I was most addicted to, including League of Legends and World of Warcraft, just so I could log in and play Monster Hunter World. By this point, I was using the light bowgun in most missions and had really enjoyed the dual blades as well. I usually lean towards dexterity-based builds in video games, but the freedom and movement with the bowgun really felt good to me. Overall, it was a great feeling to take down a powerful beast and move up in the food chain. But at the end of the day, the true pleasure came from embracing the hunt itself. I became obsessed with learning each monster's different strengths and weaknesses, how certain body parts had different damage modifiers and could be broken or severed, exposing weak points to focus on and deal extra damage. The fights became something more than just lowering an enemy's health. It was about performing well, landing direct hits, and overcoming close calls. These long extended fights are what make these beasts truly epic and a great way of displaying their massive amount of stamina and ferocity. It's been amazing to witness everyone getting back into World the past few weeks, and only makes the anticipation around Monster Hunter Wilds that much more exciting. For anyone who hasn't played before, now is a really great time, and if you were like me, give it another chance. Be patient, find a playstyle you enjoy, and always embrace the hunt.